Right, so Frank, our first international fighter of the evening, Antoine Gallinaro from Evolution Pancra, 7-1 on his pro record, very rounded, 3 wins by subs, 3 wins by KO.
Interesting to see. He's very technical, but sometimes has an issue with decision-making. And I want to see if he improved it. It's not a big deal because he does win easily, but sometimes even in the fights that he wins easily, he makes bad decisions of which way he's going, and I want to see if that's been one of the things, if it's just time in the ring, you know, with 8 fights, that he needs to figure out, you know, make better decisions, or if it's something he needs to go. If it's he needs to be taught in the training center, he needs to be taught by his coaches, taught by his manager, make better decisions in this spot. It's really hard. A lot of times, I try to tell a lot of fighters, we do an after-action report, kind of like the military does. After they go on a mission and come back, we have an after-action report. Let's figure out, this is what we decided to do, this is what we did, this is how this thing worked. Did it really work or not? And even if it worked completely flawlessly, how can we make it better? Like, sit down and go over your stuff and try to pick through, especially with, like I said earlier, under 20 fights, you still have time to kind of progress and find yourself. He could do it. I want to see if his decision-making skill is better now in this fight.
So Antoine Gallinaro is in the cage, 25 years of age. His nickname, Sangohan. I wish I knew what it meant, Frank. And making his way to the cage is his opponent, Mike Wootten, also 25 years of age, from the Liverpool MMA Academy. His is a perfect 7, Frank. He's unbeaten, 4 KOs, 2 submissions, 1 decision. And again, both these men, their last 3 fights, their last 2 wins have been subs. The one before that's a TKO. So on paper, you couldn't get them more even. Age, finishing, the way they finished the fight, it's identical.
I mean, they're almost identical all the way down to the height. So this is a really match-made, perfect fight for the perfect storm. When these fights are match-made, it could either be so much action the entire time, we can't, as a commentating tape, we can't keep up with it, or it's one of those, they nullify each other out and nothing happens at all. And it's frustrating, not for us, for the fighters themselves, because they know they have so much more to give, so much more to prove, but they just can't do it because there's no spacing to be able to get it done.
We've seen it, haven't we, with those identical styles. They both want to do the same things, and because of that, neither of them ends up doing anything. And that is what I hope doesn't happen in this fight, because on paper, you can't get a better match.
And when it's this evenly matched, you have to give the advantage to the guy that already has the loss, because he's already tasted defeat, and he's got it. He wants to make sure he doesn't taste that again. With a guy that's never tasted defeat, he's not really sure what it feels like. So he'll take the 1 loss just because he's not sure what happens.
So you can see what we're talking about with the tail of the tape. Both 25, both got almost perfect records. Identical in style, just the height advantage to Mike Wootten.
But Will Wootten use that humongous reach or not is the question.
And we'll go to our MC, Mr. Mike Markham, to officially announce the fighters.
The following bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the BAMMA Bantamweight division. Introducing first, the man standing to my right and fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at an even 135 pounds. He is a striker, his professional record outstanding. 7 victories, opposite a single defeat, fighting out of Marseille, France, Antoine Gallinaro. His opponent stands across the cage to my left and fights out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 135.5 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist. His professional record flawless at 7-0. Fighting out of Liverpool, England, Mike Wootten. Your referee, Mark Woodard.
So, as previously mentioned, on paper, these two men so evenly matched, even down to the way they finished their last 3 fights, identical. And Frank, you were saying that you just slightly favoured Gallinaro for having already tasted defeat. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, when you've tasted defeat one time, that you understand how bad it hurts and how disappointing it is when you go home, and you don't ever want to have that feeling again. And unfortunately, because we're athletes, that's what's going to happen. These athletes are at some point going to taste another. It's impossible in this sport now to be completely undefeated like it was back in the day. You can't do it any longer. Competition is too much better. But the guy that hasn't tasted defeat yet is not sure what it looks like. He's not sure what it feels like. So he's not sure when he's getting close to that in the middle of the fight, not realizing he's getting ready to finish out. So he'll take it one time just because he doesn't know how dejected you are when you get back to the gym and how upset you are when you go backstage and take your gloves off. He hasn't felt that understanding yet. And so a guy that's felt it, oh wow. I'm sorry, I thought that was a really bad shot, and I thought he took the shot when he got hit in the back of the head. I thought maybe he was getting knocked out from that overhand right.
No, he did manage just to get that single leg and get this position, Frank. But I was saying, when they're upright, you could see that at bantamweight, Wootten really is the bigger man. He must be at the upper end of that scale. He's taller, he's more filled out. For me, Gallinaro looks more of a bantamweight than Wootten.
Wootten is taller than I am and fights at bantamweight, and I spent most of my career at welter. You know about a guy that's very, very slender, very, very long, and can use that 5-inch reach. Oh, great pickup. Caught a little bit of a guillotine, but bounced himself out of it.
So Gallinaro has been under pressure from the opening seconds of the stand-up, and I said when he got that single leg, it has been Wootten from that position. And as we were saying earlier, for me, rightly so, Gallinaro looks the natural bantamweight. Wootten looks like he's cut down for this.
Yeah, Wooten's got a very long frame, and right now, though, when we get in the grappling, oh, wow, great elbow. Good slicing elbow coming through. Didn't cut anything open, but it was a good position.
And good support here for Wootten. You can hear the crowd every time he does something, they cheer, and they're right behind our commentary position, up tight to the fence. And it's a great atmosphere tonight, and you can hear Muay Thai style, though. Hey, every time a punch comes in.
He's getting pushed out. He's using that length very, very well. Every time the Gallinaro pushes him out, he's still able to make contact with his chin.
And again, as we mentioned, as they both made their cage entrances, they're rounded. Oh, the right hand from Gallinaro.
Wow. He stung him. Let's see, can he finish him? We can get him in a position. We can finish this fight off. Good job by Wootten. Bury his head underneath, get himself out of position, get himself back on top again. If I'm Gallinaro, if I can't finish this guillotine, the moment his head pops out, I'm immediately getting back to my feet. You see how much space there is now? His arms are really extended out. I'm getting my feet right now to try to hit Wootten again in the head.
The one thing for Wootten here in this position at the moment, it will give him time to recover, because that was a heavy shot.
And the guillotine's not anywhere close. On our side, we can see his head. Oh, he is bleeding, though. He does have a lot of blood now. Gino has a lot of blood on his the opposite side that you can't see at home. There's a lot of blood in that rib cage. He's bleeding from his nose, it looks like, but I can't really tell.
It was pinpoint accuracy as he came in. Doubled the impact because he caught him on the way in.
It was a tremendous, and let's talk about the heart of Wootten. He was able to take Gallinar's best punch and recover from it by getting himself back on top and getting in the position.
I was going to say, ironically, this was the best position for him after that punch. It gave him that time. He said the guillotine wasn't on firmly. He could get his head back together, and now he's in ascendancy again.
Just a melee of elbows. He's got good pressure. He's keeping on top. Anytime there's an open space, he's catching them.
And he's answered the question as we go into the last minute. His head's fully clear again as well.
Yeah. Gallinaro is doing a great job, too. I don't just think he's not doing a good job on the bottom. He's doing a great job maneuvering, trying to get his knees inside, trying to change his hip, trying to get to a position where he can get to a submission. He's really trying to be active. But really, Wootten is just that much better right now on top.
And comes back in strongly again. So, Frank, coming into the last 30 seconds, Gallinaro had that wonderful right hook. Well, straight right, really. Is it enough to take the round, though?
No, I don't think so. It was one flash in the pan, kind of brings him back in a little bit, but I still think he loses 10-9, even though he's got the cut. He did a lot more damage with that right hand, but he's just been taken down. He's been dominating. He's been on his back for most of this fight. And he's going to finish up on his back. I think the judge is going to give it 10-9 Wootten.
But it has just warned Wootten of the dangers of his opponent, what he is capable of.
he should pay attention to it when it comes into this, obviously this next round. He's got to be cautious coming in with his hands down. He's got to keep his hands up for sure.
So at the end of the first round, we can put one thing to rest. Their styles didn't negate each other.
No, great action, good position, nice fight. Both guys are coming after it. And really, Gallinaro was really enthused by that. He's like, yeah, I might have been on my back most of the time getting dominated, but I was able to cut him, and I rocked him, and I almost finished this fight. Good overhand right, catch him right behind the ear. You know, that was the first one to put him down. I was like, I thought he got hit, but he looked like he just went for a bad shot. He just reacted that way. Catches that heel. I don't think that cut him, but it looked like it could have cut him earlier. Good double leg by Wootten. He really understands the position, he understands where he's going. And it comes and gets catch his overhand right behind the ear, and wobbles his body. Gallinaro had a good opportunity right here to finish this fight, but let him get back to half, and now he's gonna let him get back on top again. And that's just a bad spot to be in.
Now for Mike Wootten, the one downside to that is the cut is right on the eyelid and eyebrow combined. It's in a bad place really to be opened up. It's on the eyelid, and they've done a good job on it, but you can see, Frank, right over the eye itself, on the eyelid.
For the folks who don't understand, the reason why that's so good is because of getting it to stop bleeding. And it's so dangerous because if it does start leaking, it's going to block his vision, and the referee will have to stop the fight if he can't see out of that eye. And it's not because he can't fight any longer, it's because the ref knows that he can't see out of that one eye because there's blood in the way. If the blood is underneath on his cheek, it can be a lot deeper, a lot longer, because the blood's just going to drip down his cheek. It doesn't make much of a difference.
Wootten coming in with the big kicks. Will it affect the way he approaches this second round?
Yeah, you can see he's come out heavy and hard because he realized if that cut opens up again, they might stop this fight. If I'm Gallinaro, I'm going to go ahead and try to hit that. I'm going to try to hit that fight, try to hit that corner.
Yeah, he's throwing that bolo right to try and get that left eye. He throws the overhand over the top, and it's the right tactic by both men. And they're straight at it with the hammer fist.
Every time I'm going to try to open that cut up, no matter what, bottom, top, no matter what position I'm in, I'm gonna try and hit that cut to make it leak some more, make Mark Wootten, the referee, have to call the doctor in and take a look at it in the middle of the round, because I really want to finish this fight off, and I got a great opportunity to do so.
But again, from that position, the way Wooten's got to where he is now, there's real power at this weight from this man.
Yeah, he's got incredible length. He uses it well. A lot of guys in this weight class have great length, but they want to stay inside. He stays on the outside, and when he's deep inside like he is now, he'll rail all the way out like he just did right there, and comes back with a heavy elbow. Very, very good, and very, very, very pressure-oriented. I'm very impressed with his length. Most guys with length don't understand to be very pressure-oriented, but Wootten is amazingly pressure-oriented when he's on top.
So for me, this fight hinges on how well he can protect that eye.
It really does. You can see there's fresh droplets of blood laying around the canvas now just because it's opened up again. But how bad has it opened up?
And even then, on his back, Gallinaro had the sense to use a short chopping upward elbow, and it was the right elbow again. So he's thinking the whole time. I really like this Frenchman.
Yeah, this is a good position. I really enjoy Gallinaro's ability. Like, I really want to attack. I'm going to attack from any position, try to get to it. He does a great job of doing it.
But by the same token, Wootten has stuck to a game plan, and is still winning the round again at this precise moment, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's digging things out. He's crushing guys. He's got a long reaching length. He's in a position where he's just beating people up. It's very simple, and it's very tactical. Like, he's not spending any time. He's not wasting that much energy. He's getting after it, but you can see the eye is starting to leak again. It's going to leak for the rest of the fight. Let's understand that, ladies and gentlemen.
Does it play with you psychologically as well, Frank? Obviously, it made me think, I don't want this stopped, so we saw how much quicker and intense he was.
It's, wow, I just got some notes from my trusty assistant that Gallinaro is a Sambo black belt. And it's amazing to me how easy he's being taken down as a Sambo black belt. If anyone remembers watching Fedor Emelianenko fight, he was a Sambo black belt, and it was very difficult to take him down. Whenever you did, he ended up rolling you back or getting back on top in his heyday. And now, guys with Sambo black belts usually end up being on top quite a bit, and he's being completely dominated in the takedown game, which is very odd to me.
This is a solid ground and pound as well, Frank.
Good job tying him up. He's taking a couple hits, but he's tying him up. You don't see any swelling on his face. He's not getting beat up. So obviously, when it comes to damage, you've got to worry about the fight being stopped for Wootten because that eye cut. But other than that, he's completely dominating this fight.
Yes, it's as I said, I like the mentality of Gallinaro. He's keeping his cool. He stays focused, and little opportunities he does take. He's losing both rounds, But this is the delicate balance for me, how much they can protect and work on Mike Wooten's eye when he gets back to the corner again. We're coming in inside the last minute and a half. And this is a dangerous time now, Frank, for Gallinaro.
Yeah, he's in a bad job. He's got a good job getting out of there, immediately getting back to his feet, digs underhooks, but he leaves that leg out there again and that's the second time he's got caught with that single leg takedown.
Knowing his background now, that's frustrating you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really driving me nuts. See, I'm sorry, I apologize, because it wasn't my notes from earlier. I missed writing it down. I remember now that it was in my notes, that I saw it, I just didn't write it down, that he should be dominating the takedown position, but he's getting beat by some old school wrestling.
And now the elbows and short punches on the inside from Wootten. And again, what's fascinating, Frank, across all disciplines, you get guys that cut and guys that don't. Now, Gallinaro has taken a huge amount of elbows.
And no swelling, no bleeding,
swelling.
nothing. It's amazing to me.
And yet we know across any discipline we get the bleeders.
Yeah.
It must be so frustrating for those guys.
No matter what happens. Oh, nice chokes in. He's got the back. He's got a power choke. He took his elbow back behind the shoulder if he can get it in there. Slips out of it. Good job. Great job of getting out of that. He's in a tough position. Though, you know, it's better to be in front mount than be in back mount. But now
he tried to go through the back door and he's just been flattened out.
He's in a bad position now.
With just 10 seconds left, though, now for Mike Wootten, this would be the best. He's done it just in time. No worries about the eye now, Frank. Wow. Perfect timing.
Wow, we got, what a great job. I mean, that was an amazingly good job by Wootten to keep coming after, keep chasing after it. He did a good job. Now, Mike is an amazing competitor, great height, great length. Like I said, I'm very impressed with his ability to stay aggressive, even with his length when he's on top. He knows how to use his elbows well, and you see he did not waste any energy when he was on top, and that has all extra space. You can see here, he'd already taken his back once, he took his back again. He's coming in here, and it's just really there's no way for Gallinaro to go. He's got nowhere to go. He just has no space to go, and he finally sneaks in this rear naked choke. And really, there's about 3 or 4 seconds left, and we'll hear it when Michael Markham goes in and gives the final announcement. There's only a couple seconds left before the tap out. And really, you think, you know, hold on, he can finally get to this round. He gives up.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because the strange thing for me was the way he tried to go through the back door, set that up, and there was no way he was going to accomplish it.
No, it was impossible. He's too tight. Wootten is just too tight when he gets in that position.
So we're just going to go to Mike Markham, RMC, who will make the official announcement now. What a great fight.
The bout ends at 4 minutes 55 seconds of the second round. We have a tap out. Your winner by submission via choke, Mike Wootten.
Wow, what a great job, Mike. And that was, you're very tall for the weight class. And usually guys are very tall, don't use their length very well. Yeah. You're amazing on top, your grind, your passion. But I gotta ask, coming in the second round, you came with a little more fury. Was it the cut that made you step up your game a little bit?
Yeah, I got caught with him, a big shot in the first round, and it made me realize, like, he's got a lot of power. Got to try and stay out the way of that. Maybe wasn't the sharpest starting on my feet. I am a bit of a slow starter. But, you know, this is what MMA is all about, manage to adapt to the situation and turn it in my favor and end up getting the win.
Now, from my position, let's take us through this final replay. I couldn't see what was happening underneath. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I think I was, like, near mounted him, and I was starting to land some shots. I could really feel him digging in. I already knew he turned to give his back up the first time and defended the choke real well. And the second time when he turned and gave his back up, I just heard Jason and the lads shouting, like, short choke, go for the short choke, keep it on, 15 seconds left. And I just got the forearm under the neck, put the elbow behind the shoulder, hipped in, and, you know, he ended up submitting.
Great position. It's amazing to watch you fight. You use your length very well. I'm completely impressed with the way you took down a Sambo black belt that easily with great old school wrestling. It was amazing to watch you. Great job tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.